So we're on session 2 of our StarFinder game, which I never mentioned last time, but we're using the StarFinder system to run the Fragments of Eternity, the title of the game. I'm Ryan, the GM. It's the 8th of October 2018, and here are the players.
Hi, I'm Olka. I play the Lashonda pilot called Emmelyn.
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Nico. I am playing the Veskian captain called Zora.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing the android mechanic called Nix5.
Hello, I am Colin. I am playing Lyko, who is the spooky space bounty hunter.
Excellent. And this is the crew. We're obviously still down our hopefully soon to rejoin his space rat, Zig. Hashtag Callum is precious, just for when he chooses to listen in.
Hashtag Callum is B.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, there's a story to that. I'll cover it later, guys. I'll catch you up on that. Remind me.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, there's a story, and that'll be in the after party.
The aftermath.
That's after the after party when I kill you all.
The late night talk show version.
Yeah. Right. There we go. So session 2 has begun. Welcome to the beginning of the session 2ing. And what do people remember from last week?
I opened the wrong door.
I correctly
weird
surmised.
orb,
Yes.
orby thing. And then there was alarms.
Yep.
There was a box with ambiguous contents which we were shipping. To,
Wait, how did you look inside, Colin? You couldn't see
We
inside. Ambiguous contents.
Well, its contents were ambiguous because of the non-Cortana was able to not properly look at it, and that was really not what you call in English a clause. That was more just things. But yeah, essentially, we brought a shipment in. We don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. They weren't eager to take it because not Cortana said, "Eh." So we have to find someone who is more organic.
Other
to speak to.
interesting AI plotlines also exist, like Alice, our one.
Yes, I forgot her name.
She's in the character art.
I mean, what you gonna do? So yeah, not Shodan is.
Also,
okay,
in the NPC list, she is also in there, just so she's know. That got updated. I haven't settled on art for Edgar Westland yet, so he will be there as soon as I have art for him.
He is just Wesker in my head at the moment.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he?
You might not be a million miles away. I might settle on Wesker, but for now other horror franchises exist, you can watch Charmed if you like, I believe is Colin's follow-up line. So yes. Make sure I'm in the game managing one. Yep, let's put session 2, and then whatever today's date is, which is the 8th of October. And then, what do we have? We don't have any of this yet. Cool. Good. Right, so what else do people remember?
There were terms and conditions.
Yes, there was an NDA, that's right. Yep.
Yep, I threw a pencil at Nix.
Yep, that's true. That definitely happened.
We're trying to hack into the thing to get the map to know where we're going.
Yeah, so I think that's where we left off. We had Nix approaching the wall near the door with the computer kind of holo display load up, and we had him start to tap away on that, while Zora had walked past to check out the door. The doors kind of did their swoosh open, and all you had was the big klaxon alarm flashing, the hallway pulsing with red light and going into darkness again. And then just outside the door, a weird shimmering orb of liquid with like kind of pulses of electricity with it. And then I think Lyko walked up to Zora, looked up at Zora, the doors swoosh close as Zora takes a step back, and then Lyko said, "I think that's the wrong door. I think that's where we phased out." So let's phase in 4 years later, where no, I'm kidding. So you roll one giant character, and
Voltron.
Form Voltron and other giant mech combining shows exist.
Are available, yeah.
Okay, right, so I think we'll phase in on the doors closing, and then the alarms being cut off again as the doors seal. Everybody in the room most definitely heard the alarms. They were very loud. Go.
So I guess Zora, as the doors closed, would look at Lyko and be like, did I do that?
Yeah, you did that.
About that map, Nix.
Yes.
How's it going? How's the progress in the map?
At that point, I will be working away at it.
Of course.
We're midway through it. So I don't know if that's time for
Yeah,
first roll of the session.
yeah, of course. It seems to be your tradition. So carry on. Let's look for that one.
Yes.
Obviously, type what you're doing for me. Yep.
Boom.
Okay. Not bad.
Thoroughly mediocre.
Yeah, but it's not a 1, right? So
I know.
we take that all of
that's-
those as a victory. Okay. So you're trying to get like a map of just the station in general, I take it?
Yeah, because we would have seen the map. That
Yeah.
Alice showed us. So it's
Yeah, you've got
trying to
that
get
brief memory of when she brought up the display, like which was clearly like the other corridors of the station. That was the other thing in the previous session where she brought it up and she went to get to like this, the general manager, essentially the station manager. You go blah 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 blah, all those directions, and then explained how there are certain places you would have to go through that would involve clearance you don't have. And she's like, and I'm going to go check on something. Goodbye, and vanished.
So I'd probably be trying to note down most of the end point, the start point, and kind of most of the bits in between that she said would be issues. But
Yep. So
I imagine
the map you get up isn't complete. It's a very if you took the beehive that she gave you and you took a bite out of it, which was a big enough bite to fit your ship in, you've pretty much got the hangar and like a bunch of kind of pipe, like holographic pipe leading off of it, as if these are corridors going elsewhere. But they all cut off after a certain kind of like distance. So you've kind of got like a chunk of the map, and it kind of says "you are here" at one part of it. So
Okay.
you don't have a complete map, but you've kind of got a "you are here," and mostly it's kind of like cargo space and other corridors leading to like other hangar bays.
nothing that says big floating orb of death.
No, like weirdly, like
No.
especially the door leading out as well, where Zora was, the one right next to like your kind of wall panel. Weirdly, like on the other side of that door, it is just a general access corridor. Like there's no, this is the death corridor of orb floatingness or anything. It's really poorly labelled, if you ask me.
I think in that case I'd probably just, Nick's 5 steps back and we'll point to the map.
Yeah, like you can take a it'll let you take a copy of it onto like
Take
your
copy
own.
onto
Yeah, like you've got like the
in.
what is the equivalent of about a 10-minute walk in every direction.
So I'd pull that off and
Oof.
yep.
Whoa.
And turn to the captain and say it's incomplete. It's a start. I think we know the vague direction that we want to be heading in, which was through the door, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah,
Mm.
pretty much.
And
This seems like the main door
We went through?
out of the hangar.
Yeah.
Oh god. Right, okay.
And the alarm went off after we opened it.
Well, I mean, you opened it
So-
and heard alarms. Whether that's
alarms.
because you opened the door or not, because you definitely don't hear alarms when the doors
Yeah.
are closed.
Soundproofing.
This is a sealed area.
Can you
Is-
disable the alarms?
That's what I was just about to say. Is it can I, or at least look for what likely triggered the
From
alarms?
this console, based on your role, no. You don't. You don't have enough access from this point. Probably because they
Mhm.
don't just give access to like, here's a hangar. You have full access through this console. This seems to be a very kind of like
Basic
air
entry.
gapped kind of computer that says, here is like an info screen, and then you can also order your McDonald's on it.
I think in that case, yeah, it would
is
be,
disabled though, sadly.
Nick's vibe would then turn around. We need to find a proper terminal. I think through that door.
Like one of the on your map, because you would have known this from reading it.
Mm-hmm.
On the display there are like this is a research. It's the Baskerville Research Station, as it's dubbed.
Mm-hmm.
There are entire lab sections of this. Usually on like the outer rings are where all most of the labs are. The reason why, for anyone who knew anything about space station design, is because the labs are detachable if the experiments go wrong. So they can just jettison sections of them.
That's useful to remember.
Yeah. And yeah, quite common, you know, like modular space station design. Just so you can attach what you need when you need it, and you can also just tow in and out good parts and bad parts if need be. But most of the labs that would have anything interesting, shall we say, in terms of computer tech, are on the outer rings, which is like literally the furthest away point from where you are, since you are in the centre. But you also have like the main body seems to be all the kind of sleeping quarters, the crew rotational stuff, the like cargo bays, which is what user in basically. User essentially in a big cargo bay.
I would assume there'd be some sort of admin area within there.
Yep, there is indeed. It's near the top of this section, if you will. Remember I told you it's like a cylinder stood up, with the rings at the top and the bottom. So yeah, you've definitely got an admin area, and it is roughly, if you recall, you know that there would be like an arrow pointing up. Your corridor map only goes so far, but then this is the part where Alice had started mentioning access you don't have, you know, to get further. But that's up the way for admin and the station management. Down is towards other hangar bays, and then out to the sides, but you have to go up and down to get out to the sides, would be where all the labs are. And that's the rough layout of this, because obviously that made all sense. Good. If you remember from general text, of course, I'll just reshare the image in there for you guys to roughly kind of give you a bit more scope. But the middle section was like twice as big, the cylinder part, and it's standing on its end. Obviously great fun for the folks at home, but yeah, screw you guys. Also, please don't smash that like button, in fact. Oh, it's so
Don't
funny.
forget the bell icon.
Gently nibble that like button.
And subscribe if you feel the need to. I mean, I won't force you to, because it's a whole button press, you know.
Had we put the box back on the ship? Or
No.
we plugged it in?
You plugged it
plugged it
into the hangar bay, if you will.
Oh,
Right.
that reminds me. Can I go and check its battery? Well, I assume I can, but will it show anything?
I
Who
think
knows?
we put a timer on, did we not?
I
Well-
set a timer.
Yeah, so it was like whatever it was, and then it obviously
I want to
starts
see if it's
displaying it.
advanced any in the time being.
No, like not really much time has passed since Alice walked
Yeah,
through the crate,
sure.
went, huh, it's not moving, and then going, yeah, it's charging. And then her be like, huh. And then obviously she brought up the map and then vanished and gave a weird look, and then the light flickered. So yeah, like seconds have passed, really. Minutes maybe, right? But no, the timer's still...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, screw it, the timer's full, like, it is at its hour, right? Because it's plugged in. So, let's just write that down. Box, timer, 1 hour, plugged in.
Okay. Having looked at that, we'll just sort of be pleased enough with it, make no comment.
Yeah, I think like when it's plugged in and it's charging and it's full, it's just got like a kind of blank display, if you will, with like a kind of smiley face where the battery is.
It was really just a, like, nothing has become obviously wrong while their attention was elsewhere, has it? Kind of check that I was doing there.
Well, would you like to roll some kind of perception check?
Certainly.
To see if something's gone obviously wrong?
Specifically, shall I say, with the box?
Yeah, like if you want to actually like investigate the box, sure. What skills do we have?
What would be a applicable perception? Just generally, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it depends. Like,
got-
in what way are you sus? Because obviously you've got computers, you've got engineering, right?
My computers and engineering are non-existent.
I know, but I did say you have, right? I never said
do
you're good
have.
at them.
I think perception perception probably is the way to go.
And is there like a kind of
But-
like what like is it just to see if anything seems worrying? Is that the
Yes, yeah. Just because the encounter with Alice was sort of vaguely alarming.
and also
not
then
quite.
literally alarming by opening the
Yes,
doors?
the alarms were alarming, so they worked.
Yeah, I would say
but
like
yeah, so
let me look through the skill list just for use as a group, right? Because I'm not fond of the we all roll the same skill check to see who does the highest. I prefer the who would it make sense for to do so person. And I don't mind if people help out or whatever, but generally I'm more a case of I would prefer people to be, like within
Can
their
you,
wheelhouse.
can you sense motive of a box?
I don't know, why don't you go read the skill description and then come back to me and see if you can justify it to me? Like genuinely though, like it'll be on like page 134 onwards.
I'm pretty certain you can't.
146 for sense motive. but-
Things that I'm instantaneously thinking that you could do, like computers, because it's as I said, a computerized big 6-foot box.
Engineering is assessed ability.
Yeah, engineering. You cannot intimidate it yet.
Possibly.
I mean, if you had somebody that was good at mysticism, there's a shout for that, because, I mean, would you sense anything weird from it, right? It's always worth something. Your spider sense, etc. Perception,
Anyone
obviously.
after?
Physical science, probably not really. Like that's like the engineering kind of takes over that skill set, I think. Piloting, no. Profession, I mean, if you were like some kind of cargo box designer, maybe.
Funny you say that.
So that's what my profession was, designing cargo boxes with this accent. Sense motive, sleight of hand, stealth, survival. I mean, survival might come up, but not yet. Teehee.
If there is someone that makes more
Alright.
sense to roll, then
Yes.
what I will do then is,
Yeah, like I think,
Lyko
like,
could make a comment to the effect of, does anyone know what this should be saying? Maybe he doesn't. You
no,
know?
I think like it's totally within the scope for you to roll a notice check. Yeah, like I'm happy with you to roll that. Like
Okay,
a perception. Yeah.
Let me just preface that with perception check.
Perceive box.
Sees the box.
Which I think is valid because I mean I've made it as a very predominant feature of the reason you're here. So yeah, makes sense.
The only thing I can do is intimidate the box.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes.
This isn't a box. What? Everybody believes you.
I have lost all ability to perceive anything, apparently.
There is a box.
I mean,
He
is it
doesn't even notice.
It's not a one.
like it's not a 1? No, it's a 7 though. It's pretty bad. Right. So you look over the box, right, and you're looking to see if anything's out of the ordinary, but you realise that this is the first time you're looking at it since you didn't bother helping load it on. Because that makes sense based on what you said last time, right? It's not your
Sure.
job, so you were probably, I don't know, sharpening a knife,
Yeah,
putting it back in the
whittling.
sheath. Yeah, like making coffee and then just pouring it out, like just really randomly going, oh, I'm busy. What are you doing? Anything else, right? But based on what you said last week, yeah, I would say that you, based on what you attempt to do, which is to see if anything looks out of the ordinary. Yeah, it's a 6-foot by 6-foot box, and you're like, huh, it is. But you don't really know what it looked like when it came on, so you can't really tell if it's different.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's a
Okay.
decent interpretation of that score.
Okay, so Lyko's sort of just giving the thing a quick look over and not spotting anything screaming something is wrong.
Mhm.
Just sort of seems alright.
I mean,
Wait, I trust it.
yeah, but those of you that obviously actually did load the thing on know he wasn't there and probably hasn't looked at it since seeing, I think Nyx was the one that pushed it off the ship. So, yeah, I feel like probably Zora and Nyx were the people that actually looked, well, I guess considering their preciousness over the cargo space, that does make sense. Specifically for Nyx, and then also Zora kind of being the captain. So, like, I say kind of actually being the captain. So that kind of makes sense that those were the two that dealt with it, and Lyko also was somewhere. So yeah. But knowing that, the idea that Lyko goes to check this over and gets nothing is enough for you guys to be like, how would you even know? Right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily to say there's something to find. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you know he wouldn't find anything. Unless it was like, why is this? This looks like somebody's vomited acid on the side of this, and it's escaped. In fact, there's actually a trail of acid all the way through this wall. You know, it'd be like that, which hasn't happened. That Lyko has spotted. So yeah. What's the situation?
case-
What's Emmelyn doing? In
um,
fact, right there we go. Emmelyn, you're too quiet. What are you up
I
to?
think I was, I think I was kind of staying back, but kind of with the captain because.
Yeah, so like the scene kind of was that you were about to take your helmet off, and then obviously we had that conversation, so you decided not to. But I like the idea that you go to take it off as the doors open, and you hear all the alarms, and that's maybe
You're like, oh no, keep it on.
yeah, you let go and go. That's good where it is. It's weird because I have this image of the Dali Bopper style, like adjustment to your helmet, so your antenna have their own little spaces.
Oh,
It's just kind of awesome.
yes.
It's so cool.
Well, I think honestly we should go through this door and find somebody human or like
Wow.
a real sorry
Oh my.
a real person to speak to.
Wow. Are
Just
you
made it
real?
worse.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think-
what are you saying,
Sorry,
right?
Matt.
So, like, what are you actually like? Obviously, we've had the go to take helmet off doesn't because of that.
Yeah.
But then, what do you do? What's your action and character? What do you do? What do you say? And who do you say it to?
I think I'm gonna say in my head,
Mhm.
or in the heads of people,
Yep.
to Zora that I think we should go through the door.
So,
What's the
Zara, you've
worst
got
thing that
voices
can
in your
happen?
head now after the alarms. Go through the door.
What's that? The wind?
The wind in your helmet.
The space wind in your helmet.
I mean, we didn't get much information about Alice. If we could just find somebody that's actually real, we could actually talk to them.
Sorry, she's just saying it directly into the Vesk's head. I don't think the Vesk gives a shit.
I was saying to everybody, I guess I'll go, did anybody catch if we're supposed to walk through the crazy plasmoid creature? We're supposed to walk past that.
Was it definitely a creature? Oh god, he's American now. That's good. Actually, he'll be American. Because I don't know what the hell that was.
Both the accent and the plasma
American.
globe.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm doing this now. This is his
Yeah,
accent.
go for it.
Maybe until next week.
We'll see how long it holds out.
I believe that was the direction we had to head. But
I think you just need to establish where you're going, right? Because, like, Emmelyn's plan was, let's go find someone. Zora's
Yes.
plan was, do we go forward? Right? So,
we need to go.
and obviously the last thing Alice said was, oh, I don't know any of those answers that you want, so go speak to somebody who probably does, which is probably the station manager. Right? She was that helpful, right? So,
Well, we're not gonna get paid unless we find somebody.
Okay, well, if we think it's a creature, and he slings his rifle off his shoulder now, we should probably kill it.
I think we should secure the
Agreed.
box first. Or is it perhaps better back in the ship?
Also agreed.
Okay, actually, Nix is just. But as Nix is saying that, I want to just sort of sink out of view. Can I roll stealth to see?
to go where?
Just to sort of gradually back out of shot in the middle of the
Yeah,
As he's saying that,
yeah.
I want to roll stealth. Okay.
I want it to be called Lyko Rolls to be work shy.
Okay.
Would that be a profession?
I mean, I guess an anti-profession, right?
Oh.
I mean,
How?
it's
My
alright.
bonus.
That's okay.
It's not terrible.
Is there such a thing as a passive perception in this system? Who
Um,
even knows? But I mean, would them to be specifically looking out for Lyko at this exact point in time?
Probably not.
Having suggested a fully logical course of action, Nix 5 would be going straight to do it,
Yeah.
not relying on Lyko.
So I think the only thing that happens is Lyko just sidesteps behind Zora as like the camera shot happens. So you can still see like the legs behind the Vesk leg gate, but like, yeah.
Well, I like the idea of, like, when he does that, I'm like, Lyko, keep an eye on the pla. And I kind of look around.
Weirdly as well, with your lizard eyes, you have the exact vision range that you need to still see. That's fine, yeah, so you turn around and go, keep an eye on the plasma. What? Michael?
Exactly.
Sure, Kevin.
Run.
As you like.
In that case, I'll just say that like directly behind him now. Just go, sure, Captain.
I mean, keep
As
in
if
mind.
there's nothing odd about responding to an order from directly behind.
Yeah.
him.
Right behind you, Captain. Literally.
And then I suppose I'll walk off into the hall.
Okay. So, as you walk towards the doors, you hit off them.
Oh fuck.
And then they open. Oh yeah.
Okay. I rub my head for a second and continue through.
Yeah, so you kind of scrunch your nose against the kind of completely obviously fishbowl helmet that everybody's wearing in my head. As you clunk off that and go, son of a, and then the doors open and it's the kind of the klaxon alarm again. The room that was once kind of pristine and white and now has this red light flashing into it, silhouetting Lyko every pulse. Probably looks quite sinister actually. Probably like a wrestling entrance, and then only in reverse because you're leaving. And then there is this strange plasma globe thing, just this liquidy orb floating.
I'm not going to quite train my gun on it, but I'll have the rifle ready.
Yeah, like it doesn't move anyway. Corridor's about what, 10, maybe 15 feet wide. I think I said meters.
How big is the orb?
Meters?
The orb is about like maybe a meter, like diameter that is. So it's like one of those exercise balls, I guess. You know, the bouncy dilly poppery type of.
Is it more or less than one bulk?
It depends how heavy it is. So you'd maybe need to try and lift it to find that out. But yeah, that's an interesting one. It's probably more. Probably
Okay.
more than a bulk. I don't really know
It kind of
what
looks like
a bulk
it. might be.
transfers to, but yeah. Let me try and think of what's a good example. Like, do you know those things I mean, like the proper exercise balls, like yoga balls things, you know,
Yep.
things.
I'm
like-
just thinking of a space hopper, I'll be honest with
yeah, like basically like a bit like a bigger space hopper. It's about that size.
But made of metal.
No, it's not made of metal. It's like
What is
it's liquid.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's like a liquidy kind of almost like a bubble, if you will, but it is like full of liquid, and it's got this weird pulsing energy going through it.
Yeah, because just my thought is, can I move it?
I mean, you could
I could
try. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying.
Psychic hand.
Yeah. Although actually, I have already used it. I don't know if I can use it again. I kind of.
Have you?
How often I can use it? Well, I use it
use
to
it
throw
for
a
a
pencil
pencil.
at his
Oh, yeah.
face.
Let me see. What page is the Lashunta stuff on? Do you remember?
Oh.
It's probably worth people like
God knows.
trying to commit at least
Yeah.
their pages to memory, the two sets, or maybe the themes are from 30 onwards anyway, so it's not a big deal. Let's see, Lashunta's maybe 50
It's 48.
48. I was going to say 50, so I wouldn't have been too far off. Right.
It's at will. You're
Yeah, I was
fine.
going to say, yeah, I figured it was probably
Oh,
at will.
sweet. Okay.
So,
In that case, could move the orb closer to us.
I just love the idea that like Lyko steps into the hole and then this orb is psychically pulled towards him and he's like, ah!
We're under attack, Captain. I think we're under attack,
It's
Captain.
advancing! Because obviously it's got a pump action laser rifle.
If we could, I mean,
The
we can move
needler.
it closer. We can have a look at it. Somebody can investigate.
I mean,
Is what I'm saying to the captain and nobody else.
I talk to him in the head privately.
Yes.
Make it so, but if it moves funny, shoot it.
All right. So I'm gonna move it closer to us slowly.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
it approaches.
So as you're kind of like do you
Or I
move
attempt to at least.
do you move your hands for this? Yeah, like you reach out with
Yeah.
your hands,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah. I do a proper Darth Vader thing.
Yeah, and as you reach out, it's like there's nothing to actually grab onto. So normally, like when you do this, like with the pencil earlier and things, like your kind of mind goes out and you get that slightly tactile feedback to be
Yeah.
like, okay, grab. You don't get that. Like you push, but then you kind of get nothing because there's nothing to lift, nothing to grab, nothing to grip. You kind of get the
Okay.
resistance of the wall behind it,
Oh, yeah. okay.
as if you've you've moved past it. Obviously, you've stepped into like the doorway for this to happen.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Lyko is still in the doorway. But as the doors were shutting on you, this is when obviously Emmelyn has stepped up to stop them, to open them again, and you weren't crushed. And yeah, so you are both kind of now just staring at this, and maybe you were walking forward with your hand out, doing that kind of, wait a minute, why isn't this, and then maybe like flexing your fingers and stuff and being like,
Yeah, I'm trying harder, basically.
yeah. So you've got
Didn't work the first time.
basically you've got your crewmate, if you will, everybody else this is for, just her walking forward with her hand outstretched, which is probably not an unusual sight, because I imagine you've probably seen her move stuff with her mind a lot. But yeah. But yeah, so she's basically waving at this. Well,
Yeah, he would comment. So
standing by for comment.
what is what is it we're trying to achieve?
Well, I thought we could move a bit closer and just have a wee look at it, but it's not working, so I'm out of plans. So somebody else?
I'm not
Ideas?
sure we want to move it closer.
I mean, I could try moving further away, but I think it's going to be the same result, frankly.
Gonna have to get around it at some point. So
If Emmelyn can't move it, then does that mean it's either holographic or magical?
Magic. Ugh.
yeah, that could be awkward.
So here is the
Is that-
there we go. That's the hangar,
Yes.
and this is the door. Right, and let me find an orb.
Oh, that session, yes.
I know, my maps are the best maps. How dare you all? Do you know what? This'll do. This is cute. So there you go. My wonderful art. Just want to drag yourselves onto the map. Just the two that are important for now, which is Emmelyn and Lyko. Lyko, you're probably... Yeah, I was actually going to put you
Right.
the other way around, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Seeing you do that, just click on yourselves and then... Oh, I'll undo that wee dot. And assign shift, yeah. So, you can be about there and there, yeah. So yeah. These are in a dark, pulsing corridor.
Is it the sort of thing that I'd be able to observe?
No, because you're about
there's
to struggle
yeah.
with Zora moving the box
That's true.
while this is
Yeah.
happening. I'm also just...
We've got a box.
That's better. There we go. I prefer that. Bigger corridor. You can have stalls, if need be. For when you just set up a marketplace. Give up on smuggling. Okay, so let's see what the others are doing. So we've got Zora and Nick. So he's gonna move the crate back into the ship, or he's leaving it where it is plugged into the station.
I just think we should probably take it in the ship. Probably a good idea. Who knows what's going to happen in this hangar?
So put it back into the smuggler's compartment and perform the routine checks to make sure it's all in order.
Sure. Does one of you, I don't care which one, want to give me an athletics check, and we'll just see roughly how long this takes you.
Don't know if the captain has a preference for doing work.
Who would be the one most likely doing it?
I mean, I would probably be in a hurry, so I would probably just take initiative and do it.
Cool.
Like,
Give me a
so I
wee
get this done with.
move crate is the text or something akin to it, and then a wee athletics check. This is purely just to see how long it takes, to see how long the other two have got to kill everybody. That's pretty good, yeah. Doesn't really take that long at all, to be honest. It's a case of pushing it up the ramp, getting it past all the other crap in the cargo hold, and then securing it again down. I think the only problem was that you had to move a bunch of stuff from, equally distributed across your cargo hold all into one pile on top of each other to kind
Probably
of...
saying that, I'd probably just thrown it Just like get out of the way, get it. Like,
Yeah.
just-
So just kick it onto the side. Poor people stuff. And then yeah, cool. And you've got it back in the hold. Doesn't take long. I'd say like 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes to get it all back in and secured away and back in the hold and plugged in.
Yes, it's not looking like it's going to
Nah.
do anything stupid.
Detaching it from the station was weird because as soon as you went to move the crate, the power cable recoiled back into the wall and sealed up again automatically. But yeah, so guys, you've got about 20 minutes of screwing around with this orb, so let's go for it. What is happening?
Okay.
I mean, are we going to call you guys the Alpha team? Because they usually die, so let's go with the Bravo team for
The
now.
A team.
Well, you do have the
Right,
face, right? So,
I don't know if I necessarily want to do anything too drastic with the rest of the party not actually there.
well, I mean, you've got 50-50, right? You're fine.
But that works.
Plus, you've got the MVP that's on mute.
See this corridor that we're in?
Yeah.
What's to the either side of it?
It's hard to tell.
It's the orb
because
in the middle, and then
So it's hard to tell because the lighting keeps going black on you, and it goes off just onto the distance. As you look up and down, though, if you kind of like strain and wait a wee bit, just because as I said, you've got the time to sit and take just stare up the corridor for a bit as it kind of the flashing lights all kind of sync up. You notice this isn't the only orb.
oh,
Of course not.
Of course.
I mean, why would it be the only one? Dun dun dun.
Do we do we try shooting it?
if you want to shoot it, I'm just gonna stand behind you. You go ahead.
Hand
You
goes
go
over
ahead.
shoulder. I got you, psychic buddy.
Because this isn't really optimal range for the rifle.
Puts rifle scope into goop. Pulls trigger. Not the scope, the nozzle. But you know, I mean, or the scope, whatever.
I could back up a little bit, and you could stay here and keep the door open.
Well, you know, Lyko's not going to keep the door open, so.
Yeah.
How gentlemanly of you.
And also just that quick about doors.
I like how it's the two cowards that are near the dangerous.
Yours are
being
like the
spot.
bravest ones right now, while the actual, like, working people are like, oh, I guess we'll move the crate off, I guess we'll put the crate back on.
I mean, we could have just taken the crate with us.
It's a dangerous business moving crates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what's in this crate. Could be a bomb,
Mhm.
right?
Could stub your toe.
Well, if it's a bomb, then we shouldn't put
Could
it
be
on my
another
plane.
one of those.
Or ship, rather.
It's a 5-foot one.
Point taken. But
Let's work on the assumption it's an organism. Have you, bear with me, tried talking to it? In the brain.
To the orb.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, I'm gonna try to talk to the orb.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I'm gonna say hi, orb. Can we get past?
Uh,
What are you? I'm gonna say, what are you?
Cool.
What is this?
Make a will save. Oh, yeah.
Right. I'm not in the right place. Right, what am I doing?
So
Well,
type in,
save.
I don't know, brain talk, and then send that, and then do a will save. Nice. Brain talk to orb, friend or foe. Yeah. So. So.
Do I die?
Yes. Bye.
No.
It's like that times your will equals that. No, I'm kidding. Right, okay. Now, who knows about will saves?
What about them?
Exactly. Will saves. let us go
Remember.
and explore them.
Let us go right now.
Yep. So, Control F will
50, something like that.
save.
No, not 250 evidently.
Let's have a wee look.
241.
Is it too
Apply
far?
your wisdom modifier to your will saving throws.
I mean more about the causing of them. That's fine.
Saving
What
throws
have we got
effects
next?
resistant to mental influence as well as many magical effects.
Oh yeah. Give me 2 wee seconds. I'm just gonna have a quick look for what I'm actually looking for.
Told you it was magic.
Oh no, it's a psychic ability that backfired. It could just be that.
Okay, so with this, as you extend your brain into the orb, unlike when you've like had no tactical feedback, when you kind of eventually felt the resistance of the wall with your kind of psychokinetic hand, as you reach out, it kind of feels like sticking your hand in a plug, but for your brain. So yeah, you don't like this. And so there's no damage yet. I'm gonna leave that hanging for you.
Okay, I imagine this makes me like shout out in pain.
I mean, do you do it psychically so everybody hears you?
Yes. And also with my voice. I'm doing both.
Okay, yeah, I like that, like a double whammy thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Also keep in mind, guys, that you need to switch that little thing, the toggle switch on the outside of your helmet. You need to switch that to actually speak to each other using comms, just so she's know. FYI, BoJack Horseman. Yeah.
Now I'm going to go through not communicating at all. Be fine.
Okay, yeah. As you're kind of reeling from that, obviously everybody you hear screaming. This is probably like as you have just finished securing the last compartment panel for the smuggling hold. You hear her scream, psychically and physically. I was going to say irritably, but I meant audibly.
Irritably, yeah.
Irritably.
Mix 5 looks up concerned at Zora.
I would probably instantly calm Emmelyn. Ask him what's wrong. What's happened? Is the plasmoids attacked?
Filthy plasmoids! I knew they were going to attack!
I knew we should have shot them straight away.
Typical Vesk reply. At the space KFC. Oh, we have to wait on our chicken. Damn the Colonel! I knew he was planning this delay. A mere stall tactic. Oh man, sorry. Carry on.
But yeah, just ask stats.
Yeah, so I'll
You don't
Just
reply.
say-
Does Lyko reply though? On her behalf, because she doesn't
Oh,
respond
yeah.
to that.
yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose it'd probably be wise to do so. She tried to talk to it. It didn't seem to like that. I think we have to assume, hostile.
As from your point of view, Lyko, you've seen the pulses between like the kind of like almost forks of lightning, if you will, inside it, like vibrantly respond as she had done this, and then she screamed, and then they die back down to normal, if you will. So it did react to the incident, but it hasn't moved. It's still just kind of floating with the kind of liquid, just kind of like the
Call
wibbling.
back in. It looked angry, actually.
Like it gave me the eyes, the combat eyes.
For a blob of plasma, it's sort of its plasma looked angry. I don't understand plasma, but it looked angry. I think this thing isn't going to let us pass.
We'd be right there. And then we shoot it.
Might I suggest I have a look at it first? I've read
Or
somewhere
Nix can just
last
have a look at it first.
I like the idea that it's like, we'll go there and we'll shoot it. Lyko slowly raises his rifle. I was like, or we'll let Nick's look at it. Rifle keeps going up and over the shoulder and just sits on his shoulder. Yep, that sounds like a plan, Captain.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Good plan, Captain. Because it wasn't really his plan, but hey.
That's why you're the captain. Nobody argues. Okay,
Yes,
so
talk about me more.
while all that's happening, well, you have screamed Olka, or I should say Emmelyn, and obviously you gave the information that you did. During the course of it, the reason you didn't respond to the questions is that you have seen yourself walk down this corridor before. But you do that thing where you're like in like a VR advert where you look at your hands and they're not your hands. Because obviously they're fingered gloves and you'd wear fingerless gloves, of course. And then you walk down like the corridor and then a big klaxon goes off. And then like all the lighting slowly does that creepy corridor of shoom 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 as they get darker, and then obviously in the background the kind of blackness is only filled by pulses of red as the black corridors kind of get quicker to you, and like you're seeing everybody kind of look around, scream, and it's people like in like, you know, generic space station wear, like the stuff you'd wear, you know, casual and also like lab coats and things. Like you can clearly see there's a bunch of scientists, there's like security personnel on the station, like there are people walking around. It's not like the place was devoid of people. It's now devoid, and you've got the like the feeling of like intense like pain, and then nothing, and that's what you get. As then you have Zora and Nyx. Like maybe Zora puts their hand on you, and that kind of brings you out of it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was actually going to do that exact thing.
I'm sorry, I'll stay out of your head, I'm sorry.
You better stay out of my head, you psychic.
Sure.
How dare you play my character for me perfectly?
I know, I'm sorry. Carry on. So, let's go back a bit then. Emmelyn, you have that, and you're kind of lost in that. Zora, what do you do?
I would approach Emmelyn and put a hand on
and
her shoulder.
punch her.
Poof! Just backhand in the back of the head. Oh,
into the orb.
What you gonna do, brother?
Sorry, carry on. We're a bit nonsensy.
But yeah, I would put my hand on her shoulder, and as I do that, I just ask her if she's alright.
So that kind of like, you hear like that familiar, friendly, raspy voice that snaps you back after the nothingness that you get, like a bit like the dream when you wake up.
Yeah.
But like, it felt like you were someone else briefly.
Yeah. So this is really bad. Something's really gone wrong here. I don't think we should keep going. Is what I say to them. In a
like over the klaxon, yeah.
Pretty panicked voice.
Clarkson. Is it just Jeremy Clarkson standing there just making a noise?
So yeah, I've probably still got my rifle over my shoulder. I'll slide it back down into my arms in a ready pose. But can we actually leave?
And then like maybe this shot is from like underneath the orb, looking back at the gang through the open doorway of the hangar into the white space with all the red lights flashing within the corridor, and you see just the big bulkhead of the external door closed, obviously. And that's maybe the framing of that shot as he goes, can we actually leave?
I think at this stage, Nyx would probably step up.
To...
I was going to say, perceive, but, you know, picking out probably the correct skill.
Well, what's your goal? What is it you want to do?
Kind of want to understand whether it seems like it's a physical phenomenon, or whether it's a creature of some variety.
I mean, not all creatures are physical.
True. So it's because obviously Emmelyn having a response to it would suggest that it's not, inanimate.
Well, I mean, even with Lyko's assessment, right, of that reacted when she reacted.
Mhm.
So
So I think that, yeah, it would be trying to work out what kind of life form it is.
okay,
My assumption is it's a life form at this stage.
sure. What are you gonna
Mhm.
what are you gonna roll for that?
That'd be a life science.
Sure. Let's see. Let's see if we get something from that.
Maybe you don't hurt me no more.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah, you can guarantee you've never heard of this ever before in any textbook you've ever read.
Yes.
This is so
Excellent.
unknown. It is unlikely to be considered a life form by your assessment.
Okay.
I think as he's doing that, I'm fairly shook by
Yeah.
the situation. Like I am trying to almost stop him from
Yeah,
even
like
having a look. Like I'm genuinely just going, let's just leave. I'm
yeah, because
totally
he's probably like pulled
panicked.
out like his data pad, etc. He's probably pulled out like his comm pad. He's probably like got the little kind of medical tricorder thing and scanning and everything, and he's like, doing his investigation of his life sciences, and then kind of rubbing his metal-ish chin, and not really kind of having anything to work off of, because you're like, well, I don't look up the four-legged section because there's no legs. I don't look up the the 10-eyed section because there's no eyes. And as for energy creatures, there's several entries. None of them match this. So there is distinctively nothing that looks like this.
Let me review my inventory. See what I can.
I feel like Emmelyn at this point is almost saying to herself, like, they're all gone. Just repeating that to herself.
Oh yeah, like
she's,
out
she's
loud or
really yeah. She's like, and in their heads, like she's just
Hey,
very
Emmelyn,
not happy.
that's not at all creepy. Great work.
Yep. I'm also just going to assume everyone's on open comms unless you request privacy, just as a heads up.
Mm.
Open comms, I mean between you guys. You're in your kind of party comms, as opposed to broadcasting, shall we say. That's the assumption I'm going to make. And then obviously she'll be telepathying to you guys.
I think it broke her psychic.
I guess Zora, boy, not seen you shaking like this in pretty much ever. Like, what did you see? Or what happened? More to the point, 'cause I don't know, you seen something. Like,
Yeah, because mostly she's just screamed and then kind of sat down and was
Yeah.
like, oh, they're all gone.
Yeah,
like, what happened?
something really bad happened to them on this ship. I think we need to leave.
Then?
Was it these that did it?
They're involved.
Pointed towards.
They're involved. I love it. They're involved, damn it! Damn plasmoids.
Can't believe the Vesk is saying this, but if we tried speaking to them normally,
Dramatic flashbacks to moments ago.
psychically.
Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. I'm not talking to this thing again. I'm not looking at it again.
So I guess I would step up to the plasma creature.
You can say it, plasmoid.
Plasmoid. Yo, puny plasma creature, leave.
Again, I nearly doubled up on Lyko there. Well, I guess you're probably here. You're probably here. And you're probably here now. Probably feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Could I take sort of like a step round next 5 to put me sort of here? Because if that's alright. Because I would probably, as they were pushing forward, sort of swoop around the side so I could keep my gun readied.
Yeah, that seems fine, yeah. You're just in a corridor that's pulsing with red light, with a big klaxon. The klaxon hasn't stopped. It's very loud. It's annoying. Yeah. There's a nice kind of white light coming from the hangar bay. what's the thoughts, guys? What's the plan? Right, so we've got Zora speaking to it. In no way does it react other than just kind of float there in occasional pulses, like as it's floating.
Would now be a terrible time to try my technopathy node.
I mean, is there ever a terrible time?
Just
try it.
just to run through the processes. I imagine it's part of the diagnostic stuff that'd be running.
Well, I mean, you tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you how the world reacts to you. Right?
Yep.
That's the deal I'll make you, Alex.
Oh, that
Nobody
sounds
else. Just you.
Just me. I guess it'd just be part of the standard as a rundown and feed out. It's not a life form in any meaningful way.
Yeah, like you're pretty confident as well with the. Nobody's ever seen this before, right? Like you've sat for like maybe 6 days at a row just staring at a computer with it plugged into your brain and various kind of killing time processes with your meditation and your audio encyclopedia books. Like you've studied quite a random collection of stuff, and you just know for a start, nah. You've never, like, you just know there's nothing like this, because you'd immediately have went, filter all results by this, and this.
Yes.
Nothing. Oh. I got
So,
nothing. So you're very convinced you have nothing.
So I think I'll start running through the less logical or less well understood things, and maybe it's a weird technology. So
Okay.
I tried to talk to it with the technopathy node.
In fact, yeah, there's one thing I will
Sounds
give you, right? There's actually one thing that maybe I would have given you on your role for your life science, actually, now that I think about the
Yeah.
concept of life science. There is one thing that looks like this, or at least the most comparable, and we're talking like a 50-50, maybe like a 25% comparison here.
Mm-hmm.
A cell.
Okay.
A single cell. So there you go. You've got that, and that's probably the closest comparison you got, because there's like nothing else to really go on, except a bit of energy inside some goop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's probably the closest comparison, now that I think about it as a person. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, so based on that, I don't know if any of your actions would have changed. Probably not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think I'd still run through it just in case.
yeah, I think so as well. Like
Yeah.
I just don't want to like skip stuff that I
Mhm.
think might come up.
In which case,
Obviously.
it'd just be reaching out with the technopathy node and stating, identify yourself.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing to like connect to.
Fair.
Like again, a bit like the way I described Emmelyn's kind of psychokinetic hand power,
Mhm.
where she reaches out normally would have some tactical feedback to know to grip or whatever to manipulate things. Yeah, you've got like normally you would expect your kind of signal to get hooked onto something, when you kind of broadcast that way. But there's
Mhm.
no target, like there's nothing.
Is it giving out any heat or?
I don't know.
How close do we want to get?
You can touch it.
I would not touch it.
It doesn't appear deliberately dangerous.
Says Ryan's campaign. Well, it doesn't appear deliberately dangerous.
Have we got anything we can touch it with?
Everybody looks at Lyko.
Are you saying Pokelistic?
I was just thinking, look at Lyko, but
Yeah, I'm not eager, really.
I guess as he's saying that, I would just prod it with my Doshko.
Yeah.
Not activated or anything, just a tippy, just a wee bloop.
I thought you had your gun out, no?
I would take the Doshko off my back and get a prod.
I love this. Simple delivery mission, Doshko and rifle.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
like
it's fine. It's fine. It's
third
like-
and fourth one, really, right?
yeah, they're right. I mean,
Like-
ask any Cassethus. Right, okay, yeah, like, so you're gonna go prod it with your Doshko?
yeah, lightly.
Is there an option for that as a Vesk with a Doshko? Schroeder is feel annihilated under the Veskarium.
The mother's touch equivalent of a Veskian prod.
Right, okay.
You know, like-
Are you,
Probably beat their kids
are you
and then throw them to the wilderness.
I've seen Vesk mothers.
they also laugh in the face of packed world decree of not being allowed to spank your children, but whatever. I know, too soon. action, or are you broadcasting that to anyone? Are you going to be like, right, cool, I'll smash it with this?
No,
Or are you
just as
just-
they were talking about touching it, I was just kind of get abroad. Right.
Okay, yeah. As soon as you make contact with the liquid, the one of the kind of pulses from the center like sparks straight off the doshko, and the entire thing like almost again. I don't want to say flashes because it sounds like there's going to be a lot of light, but it kind of like pulses with the energy, maybe like a quick spark, maybe. And then all of a sudden, there's someone standing in a lab coat in front of you. They look up to you, their eyes go wide as if utter shock because they don't know who any of you are. They go to speak and they go, "It's," and then they explode in goo all over you. All of you are covered in goo.
Hmm,
That was ridiculous.
that's unusual.
That's disgusting.
Nasty. Why did nobody warn me that was going to happen?
Well,
That's the point of an investigation, Captain.
Good point.
I know
That's
we're-
why I keep you around.
I know we're
next.
foregoing
That's a
the
good
break
point.
here, but this is where I would have probably made us break because this would have been totally the best place to have taken one. But
Yeah.
just so you know, that's where it would have been.
so do we think that was a person or the thing made a person?
Now, Emmelyn, were you watching any of that as Zora
yeah,
did that?
yeah. I was gonna ask, do I recognize the person as one of like wearing the same lab coat?
Not really, but like looking
Or-
at them, like not really, but you get that weird deja vu vibe without really being able to place it because no, of course you don't know who the person is, right? Yet still a weird familiarity.
I think they're part of the crew of this research station.
The
The person that just appeared and disappeared
and the
in a very
plasmoid.
disgusting way.
So they definitely made something and then it turned them into these. That's what I'll be assuming because yeah.
As you're scooping it off the end of your gun, like
Well, I don't want to get turned into one of those weird plasma orbs.
So
Well-
there's no.
It
Is it-
reacted violently to touch, right?
We can just step around them.
Or hear me out on this one.
You could-
Proactively destroy them.
They're not posing any harm.
You don't know that. They
If
could
you-
they could
yeah.
turn us into the same orbs.
Or if you fell
You
over.
poked it and it's exploded. It hardly seems much of a danger.
I don't think the man that exploded would agree.
Is he a danger to us? Not anymore.
what did any
Um,
get in your mouth? That's what I'm asking.
If they are indeed people, and something has changed them into this, perhaps it's reversible. And we should save off on popping the entire space station crew. It might hinder our attempt to deliver this parcel.
Did I do a alignment check with everyone? Because I feel like Nix is the best person here.
That
I am neutral.
does make sense.
I mean, there is that niggling who signs off on the receipt for the crate, right? Because it's like as you pop one and hope a person goes, sign this for me.
Okay, Nix, you know things. What kind of energy are they giving off?
Look down at your data pad covered in goop. Look back up.
Gelatinous. No,
That's energy.
Head tilt.
I say it's. Would I be able to, from my review or investigation of them, determine if they're magically affected?
I know you have like no way to know that.
I say there's
Like,
no tool.
The only
for
thing that you would know if you were asking that out loud is that Emmelyn
Hmm.
could tell you.
that. Could you?
Yeah.
What can I tell him?
Well, what are you asking, Nix? What are you asking your fellow group? As you vocalise for the audience at home?
I guess it's. Are they under some form of curse?
It's
Are
more
they-
just that you like someone has magically tried to affect them, right?
Yes.
In two
Okay.
different ways. Because Olka tried to physically move them, or Emmelyn, I should say,
Mhm.
with psychokinetic hand. But nothing
That
happened.
did nothing.
Zora touched it, and something did happen physically. Emmelyn tried to psychically talk to it. There was a reaction. Right? And then I believe Zora spoke at one, and there was nothing.
So mixed
Shrug.
signals, really.
Mm.
It's giving off psychic energies.
Yes, I mean, there you go, right? That's something at least.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I mean, if you want to specify, it's reacted to telepathy, but not telekinesis. Kyle. Oh dear.
So we.
Mm.
If there's people trapped in them, maybe we can find out what happened to them and reverse it. I suppose Nix is making a good point.
I like the idea
Really?
that you just vocalise it. Like, I suppose Nix is actually, yeah, like, well done, Nix.
I mean, we
It
could
does-
reverse it, but it sounds a lot like that's not part of our job description.
Yeah, good point,
It
Captain.
might.
It could be difficult, dangerous.
It
Well,
may
for
be.
now,
useful.
they've not actually reacted to us unless we reacted to them, so maybe we should just do as Nick says and walk past them. Maybe the manager can fill us in.
Unless
The
he's.
manager hasn't been turned into one of these as well. Can't really take Alice's word for anything, really. She's probably broken.
Would there not be some sort of archive that we could watch or read, see what happened to the crew?
I mean, there's most definitely like a security office somewhere, right? Because
We're looking for the black box.
I mean,
Yeah.
Olka, like, remember Emmelyn definitely seen security guards, so this place
Yeah.
has security. They must organise from somewhere, right? So,
I think we can review the tapes if we can find a place.
I take it that wasn't on the small map that I had.
No.
So we need to find a better terminal,
Mm-hmm.
get access, figure out where security is, and then access security.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
from there, you should be able to understand.
What happened to these people?
Well, some of that, hopefully.
So what's the map say?
Well, we've got hangars and corridors. I don't know that
You can
I-
project it, yeah. Like, you can get like your
Mm.
compad and just like do your little 3D map thing, and yeah, as you can see, it looks like a tiny bit of like the bigger version that Alice had briefly shown you guys.
I guess we have to choose. Is security going to be up or down?
And you know from the way Alice described that the admin office is up.
Mm.
So basically, the main office of administration is up, and that's all you really know. Besides, the labs are up and out or down and out, to the sides of the rings.
I would suggest up.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Stands to reason the security office would be near administration, right? That's a fair
Unless,
assumption.
well, it depends how important Alice was to this facility, because as living types, he says.
Yeah, like the
w-
living types, shifty eyes.
we tend to we put important things at the top, but robots can be a lot more efficient. The bits of the layout we can't see might not follow our logic, so we really are going in blind.
If we go up to the admin bed, we could maybe find some people. Maybe somebody survived.
True, but we do definitely know that we can't get through all those doors. Unless the doors are broken.
It's worth a try.
We're getting no extra information from here, so I suggest we go for it.
Mm. So what's the group? I was going to say, what's the group plan? What is the plan of action?
You all stare expectantly at the captain.
Yep.
Let's go administration.
So up.
I think you made the plan.
Okay, yeah. Right, okay, so you can go up or down in terms of this corridor, and both lead you to like lift areas and stairwells.
Definitely up. We'll follow the general direction that Alice showed us. If everybody caught the details of what Alice showed us.
I mean, you certainly didn't get all the details, no. But
Yeah,
you got the general up, and there's a massive maze-like structure of the station inside, and good luck.
Hope there's like a direction on a wall or something, you know, that would be nice.
Oh, there most certainly is not. No.
We may be able to access a better map if we go up to admin.
Yeah, you can definitely guarantee that there is definitely
Sorry,
better computers in this, like, than the one that Nick's accessed. That was the equivalent of the info tablet that only had so much info programmed on it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, air gapped, so you can't just break into their hangar, hijack their network, and then steal them. Plus, I do believe Alice had mentioned before that even she doesn't have certain access. You know.
Yep.
So
that
yeah.
was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So who takes the lead on the corridor?
Yeah, indeed. Everybody turns to Lyko. What?
I would assume the cap.
I mean, you can do that, but Nico's not quite here yet. So
Yeah.
roll to work shy.
Yeah, I can take I can take point, to use the terminology, the nomenclature.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you're heading up.
Yes.
Cool.
Would
Yeah.
assume next would be
So I
just
sort of
behind.
just move myself on the screen, or
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, realistically, you're going to get to the point where there's an orb in the middle of the corridor, right?
so I'll bung myself in front of an orb.
Yeah. And what's the plan? I like that cautious one back.
Oh, no.
How dare.
She's actually just peering over each shoulder, really like, what
Yeah.
I suppose the plan is to attempt to go round into the unknown and the end of the page.
We're going to go back
Can
to
we try to sneak past it or just walk past it?
I don't think we need to attempt to sneak past it.
I mean, as you approach, it doesn't react, right? But then a lot of doors don't react as you approach, so you know.
I will try and pass it on this side.
Yeah, sure.
Nope.
Like you move there, the orb still kind of floats a meter-ish in diameter, kind of there, just slowly blooping away as if it's like a jellyfish in water. You know, like it doesn't really do anything.
Cool.
So yeah, like I mean, by that point, like you could have walked right past it, like, doop, doop,
Cool.
and then off you go. But we're gonna leave you on the map so I can delete you if I have to. So like yeah, like you walk past it, and then maybe look back to the group through all the red light flashing. The doors obviously close, leaving you guys in a black kind of corridor with red pulsing lights.
I'm not gonna go further without like somebody else going first.
Oh, I mean, Lyko's first so far, so yeah, you're
Well, yeah, but somebody else.
confidence.
Next is confident in his appraisal of the situation.
Is the appraisal
Wander down
this
the
as
corridor.
fuck? Like,
So I guess he'll follow on behind Lyko.
yeah, sure.
So what I
With
would do is
So yeah, like you head up there. You get you successfully navigate the trap that is this thing floating harmlessly in the middle of a corridor. Like Zora and obviously Emmelyn are still standing at this side. What do?
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
I'll follow. walk past as well.
Yeah, but also
I'll just move this down. There we go. There we go. Boop, done. There you go. Sorted. So yeah. These are in a pretty pitch black corridor, where every now and then it pulses with red light and the klaxons
Does
are going
anyone
off.
have light?
I have dark vision. I can see pretty well in it.
I have dark vision. I can see pretty well in it.
Now you have slightly like different variants of that, do you not? Because I'm pretty sure that one can see in dim light and the other can
Oh, it
see
may
in,
not actually be dark vision. Let me
Yeah.
double check that.
and one can
Yeah.
actually see in perfect darkness, which I think is the Android one.
Yes, I have
Holy.
exceptional vision.
Yeah.
Dark vision. Barrage can see up to 60 feet in the dark. That's all
Okay.
it specifies.
Okay, dokes.
It's probably not ideal because of the sort of the blaring of the light is
Yeah,
making it
it's-
harder to adjust. But
It is probably quite. It is that kind of, you're no better but no worse off, really, because it's like, yeah, when it goes dark, it's dark because your eyes are trying to adjust to the dark, but then it goes bright red. Yeah, it's not great. And yeah, I mean, similar for the Android, I guess.
Actually, I don't know, because my one's all in black and white when it's dark vision. I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's not when there's red,
Mhm. Mm.
which makes sense, right? It is
Yep.
colourless until there's colour. So, but yeah, so yeah, you've pretty much got that. What about Zora and Emmelyn? How is your lighting and vision? Because again, you can see when it glows red, right?
Yeah, I can't see shit otherwise.
Crooks and Zora.
yeah, I can't see shit. Probably keep an eye closed. Military training.
Yeah.
That.
Sure. Okay. Based on that, what do you do now that you are further in the dark and maybe have negotiated past one?
And I've basically been told to be the point man, so I would continue doing that until we reach something.
Yep, the
I'm-
corridor kind
I'm
of just
gonna-
keeps going on at the
Sorry,
moment.
I'm gonna follow behind Nick really closely because I can see him just in front of me.
Yeah.
And he can see, and I know that he can see.
Yeah, plus every every what, I guess half second or whatever.
Yeah.
Almost every second, I guess. You can see in between the pulses, you can see each other. So that's not gonna be creepy when you accidentally turn around and it's not the person you expected to see. Not
Just a
creepy
plasmoid
at all.
behind.
Just Zora every second step flickers between being a plasmoid and not. It's completely fine. But in the actual game, yeah. So you head down Lyko, you head down for an hour, maybe 10 minutes or whatever, into the corridor. It forks, or it comes to a T-junction, I guess, and down one side, the left side, you've got a whole bunch of just plasmoids near big double doors, and then at the other side there is a lift. What is the plan?
Do the lift.
If you've pressed the plus button, Colin, you're muted.
I have not.
No.
Weird. But there you go. So,
Plasmoids one side, lift other.
as I said, there's a...
Can we see anything beyond the plasmoids? Is it just wall?
I told you there were... Right
Double door.
behind them is a big
Double doors. Oh yeah,
big
sorry.
double door.
Um,
And then at this side, there is let's just make it a circular lift thingy.
see, where we do have very good reason to believe we have to go up, chances are left is the first thing that would go in lockdown.
Yeah, they tell you not to use lifts in an emergency. I'd say this is an emergency situation.
We can always climb up the lift shaft if you can kick through.
I'm not doing that.
I have pretty good ethics.
What's the worst that could happen?
All in
Just
that,
falls out the bottom
probably.
of the space station. It's really shoddy construction, they never put a bottom on it. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's pretty much. I think in these situations, I'm going to assume Lyko has operational control because Zora is currently indisposed.
Yep.
Saying fucking
I'm back, I'm back.
plasmoids. Oh my god.
Just go.
I like that as soon as I mention any kind of attempted coup.
Back!
I mean, I don't lose control of my squad. What are you talking about? Right, so Nico,
Nothing.
just want to catch Zora up on what's happened. Maybe Lyko, you can, because let's say that you're the one that goes into the crossway.
Yeah.
And you
so
do
we've,
your rundown one.
we've reached a T junction. No, not quite, because it continues. But we've reached a point where we can go one way towards a double door, which is
There's like
behind
6.
a
There's about
bunch.
6.
Yeah, 6, say?
Mhm.
6, okay.
6. Yep, 6.
6 of the things, the plasmoids. On the other hand, we have a lift. Or the path to a lift, rather. Now, we do know we have to go up, but as myself and Olka were both saying, like, there's a very good chance the lift is going to be the first thing that fucks up. Or locks down. So, it wouldn't hurt to try the lift. I do think there's a very good chance we're going through the plasmoid route.
Lovely. Yeah, well, I guess we check out the lift first. I mean, that seems like the logical idea. But yeah.
Okay. I suppose as Lyko taking point approaches it, sort of looks back to the captain for confirmation, and I suppose
Give him a nod.
yeah, Zora nods in the right direction, and we go on towards the left.
Yeah, sure. That happens. We just.
Assuming everyone follows. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, are you calming this to each other? Or are you just hoping people pay attention? Like,
I think next 5 will still be following Lyko. What was the original plan?
okay.
Yeah, I think Emmelyn's following next.
Okay. Check this mad art out.
Just say
It's
that
crazy,
I'm
isn't it?
kinda bringing up the rear, I guess. Keeping an eye on behind us. But yeah, I would probably give the confirmation nod.
The old confirmation nod.
That's pretty much what I was imagining.
The wee side nod to be that way.
There you go, that's alright, isn't it? There we go, check this out, it's crazy.
It's wow.
Gonna come back to this in a couple of years' time going, what the hell was I on? Right, okay, so, blub 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 blub. Blub. I'm gonna assume you're following, I'm gonna assume you're following, and I'm gonna assume you followed as well.
Do you want me to put my token on? Then I'll
I mean,
Guess.
you're on there.
drag it about for you, so you know where I would want to go or whatever.
You are on there. Can you not move those tokens?
No, we can't.
Nah, we can't. I think we've got to drag it on ourselves to be
Oh
able
my
to-
god. TPK.
Oh, I could do mine.
I could move mine.
Oh, could you? I couldn't move mine for some reason.
Did the other two not place their own ones?
Seems like not. Like, what was wrong with the other way?
What?
Like, what was wrong?
Oh wait, I didn't even mean that. I didn't even mean that.
Completely fine, right? Completely fine.
Yep.
Don't know what you're talking about. It's fine.
Okay.
I just
Yep.
one like this on top. Dum, dum, dum,
Keep it
dum.
on top.
Oh my. Up to front. There we go. Look at that.
That's a whole art.
Oh yeah.
Map design
I know.
at its finest.
You're so lucky that you have me. It's absolutely atrocious. Let's just undo all of that if I can. There we go. Let's get rid of that.
That could be a 6x6 foot box.
I mean, it probably is, right? Only that's on the ship that I now actually can't make. There we go. I need to move that there and then move. Yeah, so let's just assume that's on the ship. There we go. Tucked in. It's not a really good smuggler's compartment though, is it?
Just under the wing. attached to
Just
it.
literally glued on the outside. Yeah, come on board.
Yeah, they'll never look outside the ship.
Just like a tarpaulin over it, you know? Oh dear.
Nobody would be that stupid.
No, right? Not at all.
Yep.
Okay, so what you do? You up at this elevator door.
We're gonna press the button.
Cool. Yeah, like there isn't a button.
Oh,
Probably
Like-
just keeping my eyes on the 6 plasmas.
Remember, like you've seen no buttons.
yeah,
'Cause-
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Damn that. So I assume it's going to be a similar wall-mounted terminal, wall projector terminal
Well,
system.
as Lyko goes up first, okay? You've got
Okay.
Lyko that walks up, and then you see the lights on the doors, because it's like 2 doors. You can clearly see where the doors are compared to the rest of the framework, if that makes sense, like this kind of, semicircle thing. They look like, again, that white sheened plastic, the apple plastic, if you will. And then you've got the go to like flicker, and then as soon as who's next that steps up?
Next.
Nix. So as soon as Nix steps up, they flicker again and then pulse on, and then display in varying languages. Station lockdown. Please do not use lifts. Please seek nearest stairwell.
Does it point to where the nearest stairwell is?
No.
That'd be too easy.
Sort of emergency protocol to this.
We've got amateurs.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
A shrug. That would probably have been too easy. So, yeah.
That was climb up the elevator shaft, right?
That Nick starts trying to open the elevator shaft.
I am
so
not
you
doing that.
so you touch it.
Yeah. That's touch.
Right. Let me find what I want. 2 seconds.
Nothing will go wrong.
Why do you always think the best of me?
Because you're just a lovely person,
Thank you.
and it's so easy to think the best of you.
I mean, I'm finding it really difficult not to be super offended.
There is a
at that,
question
but, yeah.
actually: is artificial gravity on in this station? I'm assuming we've got like Maggie boot things, like expansion
All
boots.
the suits assume, like all kind of space-faring suits assume mag boots. But I mean, they're on by default, right? So.
Yeah. I guess I would just, I don't know, drop something.
Imagine you did it and you just smack off the ceiling and I just went, yeah, you totally didn't feel the inertia the whole time. What? Yeah, bullshit. I mean, you don't feel weird, but if you want to disable the mag boots, go for it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, cool. You click your heels together 3 times, turn on the spot, touch your nose, put your helmet back on, and then yeah, like you just kind of lift each leg slowly, sit them back down. Yeah, no change.
Cool.
Seems like the gravity's
Stuff.
intact. Intact.
Yeah, I'll put the mag boots back on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing
Just
fancy.
I've got to check these things.
No, it's definitely worth checking. Yeah, definitely. Right. So anyway, as you're doing that, and Nyx walks up to the elevator to go try and, I don't know, what, you're just going to put your like robot hands into like the kind of seal of the doors and try and.
Exactly that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. As you do, as you make contact with the pristine apple plastic, you hear a voice saying, "You shouldn't do that."
Why not?
And then, like again, like in between like red pulses of light, and then you're kind of bathed in the light from all the kind of warning messages in various languages, that are scrolling up and down, as if it's just cycling through the same text but in different languages, like the end of a DVD. Yeah, there's a kind of, this is for Zora and Emmelyn. There's an orange kind of red glow behind you guys. Just FYI, where the voice is coming from.
Similar to Alice, red glow, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cool. That's it.
Yep. So yeah, you see Alice. She'd be there. I'll get a wee marker for her. Let's put
So she's like between us and the orbs.
there you go. That can be Alice for now. Yeah, she's there. She's kind of in between that, so I'm going to try and jank that so I can make that go in between, because it's annoying when it clips that way. Let's see if I can. There we go. If I don't actually move her. There we go. So yeah, she appears and she's like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that," and she got like her hands on her hips and that kind of standard kind of, I'm being serious, totally pose.
Oh, well, I mean, where else can we go? I mean, you told us to go this way.
And you just see her like standing there with one hand on her hip and her almost hitching thumb, and she like hikes it over her shoulder and she's like, "The stairwell's that way."
Through the crazy plasmoid creatures that you failed to mention the last time we spoke.
Like, you see her look kind of really confused and tilt her head slightly in shock and look at you and she's like, "The what?"
I would point behind her.
And then like
Just-
she flickers out and flickers back in the same spot, just facing the other way. And she's like, "Yeah, the stairwell doors are right there." And then she flickers back facing that way with her thumb hiked over her shoulder again. And she's like, and then like her hands go out to the sides of, "What are you talking about?"
So
Do you not see those?
And then like
Things.
she kind of like puts her hands into like where her eyes are and like lifts out like what would be the equivalent of like holographic eyes. She's like, these aren't real.
I'm assuming you've got a camera somewhere that you can turn and look at it.
I must assume then that these are some form of psycho magic, being that it's not going to be detected by Alice's
You
scanners.
just like saying this out loud to the group.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, magic.
So Alice kind of just looks kind of blinking. She's flickered back to having her own eyes again.
Alice.
What happened to the crew on this station, Alice?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
And she's like, Then you can see her like just look up and tilt her head as if thinking. She's like, "Huh." And then she turns back and goes, "Station personnel are listed at over 300. And then you can see her like just put her eyes to like the left side as if thinking again, and her mouth slightly open. And like, weird. And she goes, "I'll be right back." And then she flickers away. There's like that weird like after image for a second and all the red lights of like her like form as it flickers and fades out. And
So
yeah, the cameras retract back into the walls. You just notice
she
that.
said listed, right? She doesn't have a current running total. She has no idea how many people are on this ship.
Like I
She's
said,
useless.
Station,
broken.
rather.
I mean, with enough momentum, it could be a ship.
Yeah. Anything's a ship if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Tie some tow ropes to the space rat, Pull, mighty Zig, pull. Oh. Yeah.
Is there enough room around the orbs to get past
So
them?
you could imagine that if your assumption about these being the crew, it seems like they all were in a quick hurry to get to those doors, right?
That's where the escape is.
Mm.
Why did the doors not open? Or did it just happen before they got there? It's a coincidence.
Mm. I mean, the doors didn't seem to react to the one outside the hangar user in, right?
If it's running through the same detection system as Alice, then of course it won't.
It's a fine deduction.
It's also a big if, isn't it?
I assume it's similar technology.
Right, okay, so you've got the warning lights from the elevator behind you, kind of like silhouetting the group, the red flashing lights of the corridor, kind of like shining off the plasmoids, if you will, in down the end of the corridor against these double doors. Yeah, it doesn't look like you could get past easily. Again, if you could like pick up, say, someone the size of the space rat and throw them through the middle like a goal, maybe. But you don't have that, so that's not possible. But it kind of looks like they're either kind of guarding the doors or we're trying to get through the doors. But they're very clustered, whereas the other ones that you saw in the corridor, right, the three that you kind of got a glimpse of, were quite spaced out, right? and weren't like hugging walls or touching anything. These are all pretty close. You can't quite tell from the angle you're at though if they're actually overlapping or touching or whatever, but yeah. Like kind of weird energy kind of pulses all kind of coalesce in the middle. So you can kind of tell based on the centres there are 6. And then as the red light pulses, obviously you're getting that kind of flickering energy going through it. That's the only thing you see in the dark.
See much chance of us making. Well, maybe I could get through. Maybe Emmelyn, but yeah.
Looks Zora up and down.
Nick's, that's a stretch.
Insinuating something.
Captain, it's no, not gonna happen. So we have to move them. We've established we can't do that psychically, and I'm assuming that we're not gonna be able to do it just by grabbing them because of the explosion.
Can I try something?
Always. Will it work
Foolish.
though, Alex?
Yeah.
Right, what's your thoughts?
I have a
Okay, good.
I have a fire extinguisher.
Right.
Could I try and use that to force them out of the way?
I mean,
I'm curious.
you can always try, right?
Let's try that.
Now, do you mean you're going to swing it at them?
No, I
Or
mean
you're going to spray them with it?
Try and spray it.
Okay, where did you get a fire extinguisher from?
It is. Let me pull up. Out. Where is it? Core rulebook. 219. It's a piece of personal equipment.
So it's a bit like a kind of like a wee hand
Yep.
sprayer thingy.
I thought it'd be useful for you know when everything's on fire.
Yeah, it's probably quite useful given the party.
What does that mean?
You'll see in session 5.
There you go. It's on page 218.
218. Okay. Let's have a wee nosy at this. Standard action can deploy a fire extinguisher to end a burn effect on any one creature or object or medium creatures, blah blah blah, extinction, blah. I guess there is no burn effect.
Yep.
Function for 20 rounds, doesn't need to be consecutive, can be recharged,
Doesn't say
blah
like
blah
whether
blah.
it's gas or liquid or anything.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could attempt to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, sure. Let's
Yep.
just say, I don't know, for it to even be remotely effective based on the size of that, like, you'd probably have to go through most of it, right? Let's say you need to go through, like, the 10 rounds of it, right? Because it's got 20, I think, stored in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you've got 10. 10 to
Yep.
coat all of them, if that's your goal.
Yes.
Sure.
That's. I imagine I'd probably actually focus it down one.
Is that again?
I'd focus it down one side of the corridor. I think with the hope that it kind of pushes them to the other side.
Okay, well, they're kind of like in a wall
Mm-hmm.
across the corridor, like a kind of like.
Yep.
I don't want to use the term pressed up because they're not pressed up against anything, right? But they're kind of in the way of the doors, so that there is not like a better side to aim at. There's kind of the mass of them in the middle, but you could definitely like aim at like the left half or the right half instead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of go down one side so that it's scatter everywhere.
Yeah, sure. Like almost
Sounds
like a clear half the way type thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. As you do so, do you want to move? Do you,
Yeah.
head over? Cool.
No, it's not working.
You're on the something.
Yeah, you're doing movement rather than just moving the thing.
Yeah. I don't know how I did that.
It's because you're clicked on a ruler, or something akin to it.
Yes.
So, as you move into that space, the elevator doors open. And you hear a voice. And it's Alice inside the elevator, and you just see her like kind of put her hand up and say, "Stop!" in like a really weirdly like militant way. Like way more like put together than you've had her weird ditziness before.
I will of course stop and turn around.
And then you kind of like instantly see her like cock her head to the side as if, oh, that worked. And then like she flickers and her hands by her side, like on her hip again, and she's like, so, and then looks kind of down at her feet, and then kind of looks back up with the group. You seem to be the only life signs, and kind of looks oddly at Lyko, and then looks back at the group. On the station. And then kind of just pauses as if she asked a question. It's like her mouth's slightly open and she's kind of just looking between everyone. And she's like slowly like flickering to remind you she's a hologram.
The manager? Doesn't happen to be an android or something? No?
She'd still catch him.
She goes around like, androids are alive. She kind of looks at you kind of disappointedly. And she kind of looks you up and down, and then as if she's just clocked your Vesk. There's that look of, disappointment, and then as she kind of takes you in, she's like, ah. So her head like tilts up, and she like slightly moves her head back. Yeah, whoever coded her is pretty good at their job. But yeah. And then she like flickers away from the elevator, and then flickers in front of Nyx, and she's like, "What was your plan?" And she looks down at your hand with like the fire extinguisher in it.
I meant to clear a path.
And she kind of like flickers to look the other way again. It's like, have you asked them to move? And flickers back and looks at you, staring you kind of dead in the eyes.
Had Zora not already tried to
I was
communicate
going to
with
say
me?
that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I did
So-
ask specifically for it to move, and it didn't.
I mean, Alice doesn't know that. Alice knows shit by the sounds of it, so.
I was just in case Alex forgot.
I was just trying to remember what that was. Yes, they don't seem responsive.
And you kind of see, like, you've kind of got her looking a bit disappointed. As if, well, that's not useful, that type of reaction of, like, almost a bit like a kind of stroppy kid when you've explained that you can't just do the thing because of adult reasons, because that's not how life works, then you have to disappoint a child. Which isn't the end of the world, really, I guess. Children should get comfy with disappointment early, in my
I
opinion.
do have an alternate plan.
You have a what, sorry?
An alternate plan. So, if you were able to just cluster them a little bit more closely together, then we could maybe see if we could set off a chain reaction and,
Q steps.
well, the explosion ideally would destroy all of them.
Again,
we-
like, Alice kind of looks past Nyx, tilting her head to look kind of like in between Zora and Emmelyn, and then just kind of like has like a really kind of grumpy face, if you will, looking at you. Not a million miles away from the sad emoji.
Your disappointment is palpable, but you're not detecting life signs from them.
Or from you. It's like you see her looking to the side again as if this is how she checks things. And then she kind of
Well,
look off from you, and then she looks to the side and she goes, ish. And narrows her eyes a little, looks back at you. Scrunches her nose up a bit.
That's a known issue.
She like cocks her head but then just kind of stops like reacting as if, this isn't going to get her anywhere, So she kind of just gives up on that kind of like, and then she kind of looks back at Nyx and is like, I don't think you should interact with them until we know more.
Does that mean we can use the lift?
Oh, that thing's a death trap, I wouldn't.
that wasn't my question.
And that is the answer. And she kind of
So
just
we
obviously.
are allowed. You just wouldn't
I mean,
recommend
and
it.
then like she does this thing where she like pretends to strangle Nyx, but like her hands go through him because they're projections. And then she's like, "Oh no," you know. She mockingly says as she play acts the idea of like, "Yeah, because I can stop you." And she
mean-
kind of like shrugs.
She's got like a. We see no guns. We see no turrets. She can stop us.
Oh, and then she like as if like you're saying that to her. Obviously, we've seen those guns, you know. And then she goes, "Yeah, I can totally trash your ship if you want."
Please don't.
And then like thumbs back to like the direction of the hangar.
Let's not do that. So, what do you propose?
Are you asking her or are you asking?
Yeah,
And then
what do we do?
she kind of looks blankly and she's like, "That's a good question." And then kind of like turns to Zora.
Well, I mean, is there even any point in us going to administration at this point? Is the manager even?
But we can find
alive?
out what happened. We can try to find security. See what happens. See if we can.
Is there an alternate route to security, Alice?
I'm security. And you see like her kind of like perk up, and she's like, "I think." And then she's kind of like, I mean, you can see that she kind of like got excited at the idea that maybe she's, you know, remembering. And then she's like, no, I was security. And like she puts like her finger up to her lips and taps it, and she's like, And you've kind of lost her at this point, unless you try and get her attention.
Can you tell us? Can you show us what happened here? If you're apparently security, use those fancy hologram things.
There we go, got a wee atlas for you. There we go. Oh my. Is Lyko just in the background having a failed fortitude save? Or
Yeah, sorry, I was,
just falls over.
looking
She wounded me. Turns out you forgot to switch the oxygen on in his tank. Like,
I've honestly no idea how I managed to click fortitude there, but
yeah. Now the she's like, I'm pretty sure. And she like replays the scene where she mentions that she doesn't really have access to all the systems, so she plays you back perfect security footage of that moment. And she kind of looks at you and goes, "I'm getting there."
do you know why you're no longer security?
Do you? She kinda
No,
cocks
I
her
have
head,
no idea.
and then she's like, And she goes to open her mouth and ask a question, and she stops herself, and she's like, "Who are you again?" It's like, "Oh, no, wait." And then she puts like her hand up, and then she like brings up the NDA, and then she's like, "Yous aren't on the original crew manifest. Did yous come after?" And she kind of just like waits expectantly. That's the NDA kind of floating like a kind of nice hologram of like a you know, proper oldie-fashioned scroll.
After what?
And she brings up like crew roster, like after this was made, and it just like flicks really quickly through like 300 plus names.
Yes, but you should know that. You're the one that let us on the station.
Yes, but was it the first time I let you on the station? And she kind of goes, as if she's quite enjoying the mystery. And she's like, "I wonder if I've met you before."
Oh god. Which god, I don't really care, but if I can't deal with temporal anomalies, they just...
Oh, I haven't detected anything like that.
Oh, that's good.
Although, would I know?
Oh god.
Maybe I've still to detect that. And you can see her getting quite excited now.
Like, it was just like visibly crumbling.
Like she like flickers with that holographic thing, but she's now like tapping a magnifying glass off her chin, where she kind of stares like up to the ceiling, like But that's her. You've kind of just lost her in thought again.
Not even sure what to say.
Alice, can you direct us to the nearest security terminal?
And she's like, she kind of like looks at you. She's like, probably.
Would you please?
And she's kind of like thinking about it. And she's like, you're not going to like this. I'm just making that elevator a bit more realistic looking, that's all. Just so she's no, guys, don't freak out that I'm moving things. Or like, I mean, I don't know, freak out if you want. I don't really care.
Ah! The elevator's getting bigger.
That's when she says, "You're not gonna like this." Like Lyko's eyebrows just momentarily raise.
Yeah. Just move this stuff away.
Don't tell me it's through the double doors.
And she's like, okay.
It's through the double doors.
Oh, I've moved the ship. Oops. I'm revealing the smuggling compartment. There we go. And then move the ship back.
Yeah, we're smuggling for them.
It just looks a bit neater. So yeah, she's still kind of standing there, and then she's kind of like, okay, and then she doesn't reply to Zora, obviously.
We're gonna have to get through those orbs.
Yes, the orbs I cannot see, we will have to get through. And she kind of like taps her like chin with that magnifying glass again.
You could try poking with a stick again.
Can we just shoot them?
Yeah,
I don't wanna get messy.
You see her look concerned. She's like, I'm pretty sure weapons fire within the station is prohibited. And then like, she brings up like all the kind of like, you know, codes of conduct that appear. And she's like, yeah. And like, you know,
What about under emergency circumstances?
and she like puts her hand up to like the panel and like flicks the hologram away as if like flicking through pages. And then she kind of like brings up like the red page. And she's like, are you official station security personnel?
I'd kind of like side look Lyko.
I mean, no, but
We
I
can
have
be.
this badge somewhere. Somewhere not here.
You see her
Do
kind of
you
like
work
look
at security
blankly
hours?
almost, like she looks blankly kind of at Lyko as he was kind of saying all of that. And then like her eyes just kind of turn and her head follows to look at you again, Zora, and you say,
Are you were the head of security, Alice?
yeah.
Do you want
I've
us
been
to
look-
be security?
She's like talking to him. See, I was looking into that while we were talking, and I seem to have a timestamp on my code, and I've been rebooted.
When?
And she kind of like flickers back to you guys and plays the call message of Zora saying, I am Zora Daora of the 11th hour. She goes, see you right about then. That seems to be when my system came online. For the second time.
Do you suspect sabotage?
And she shrugs. And she's like, I suspect nothing. And then brings up like data logs that are empty. Just as if like mock files that are empty. She's like, shrug.
Where would one have to be to reboot you?
Ooh. And then like you see her get really excited and like her kind of lips purse a little and then she kind of like points at you as if, it's a good question. And then she kind of like scrunches like her finger up into like, you know, like against her lips and she's like, I must be somewhere. and then stares proudly back at you.
I'd sort of look to Nick's file and say, let's not assume she was manually restarted. We did hail her. We can't guarantee she wasn't set to reboot when hailed. So
Also,
it might have been us.
it's also not necessarily when I was rebooted. She kind of chimes in. I mean, I have no log before that, so I'm useless. But if I was to guess, I wouldn't know. And just start staring off into space again. She goes, but, and then turns to the group really excitedly with both hands out, like jazz hands. She's like, but I must have a computer somewhere, otherwise where would I come from? And she like looks at herself as if, obviously, right? And she points to the cameras on the walls that are projecting her. Like, so, waiting for you guys to make the leap of assumption.
So we're back to square one.
Then she kind of like confuses and like grabs her chin again and kind of looks off to the side as if, are we?
It would seem that way, Captain. If I may make a bold suggestion, I might be able to get past those things without coming too close to them. I'm not eager to do that, given that there's really, at this point, no reason to believe we'll find anyone that can actually pay us for our work. I'm inclined to say we turn tail and run.
You can clearly see that like Alice is paying like complete attention to this conversation, weirdly.
But that being said, it doesn't appear that we're able to do so given the situation in the hangar. Is that going to be ongoing, Alice?
And then like she kind of like her eyes move to you, almost like now when you know someone standing nearby is clearly listening to your conversation, because like all other kind of movement is stopped as clearly they've focused all power to ear. Like at that point she kind of like turns slowly and looks at you and she's like, sorry? And that's what she says.
I mean to ask, your hangar was closed behind us when we came on board with the shipments. Would you be willing to open that for us if we did decide that we weren't able to continue with this mission?
And you kind of like see her thinking, well, I was locking you down because I thought you were a threat, but then I got distracted and I didn't lock the internal doors. So, you're here now. And she goes, And then you can hear like the clunk of the elevator doors shut behind you. And then there's like a bulkhead that appears here. There you go. Like there. It just slams down. You hear like a Wilhelm scream. As there's like a splat of goo at the bottom under the door as it slams down. Yeah. So,
Alice,
and then
just killed one of your crew members.
then she's like, as she's done that, like she almost like kind of turns around with like her hands as if gesturing to the doors to close them, and the close goes, should probably have kept you under lockdown. That would have been a good security thing to do. Probably shouldn't be helping you. There's no one else to help. She's kind of like half talking to herself at this point. So yeah, you've lost her attention again.
Right, we're gonna have to get past those orbs. Can we just throw something at them if she's not allowing us to shoot them? They explode untouched.
Well, I mean, what she does, no one hurt her, right? And
She'll
she
definitely
can't see it.
she'll know we're throwing something, and she can probably. I assume this is brain talk. Brain talk.
Yes.
Brain talk error. Welcome.
Well, keep in mind that
Yeah.
you would need to brain talk to Olka, and Olka would have to share it with everybody else.
Yeah.
So Olka could just
Okay,
literally, or
sorry.
Emmelyn, I should say, you'd say, "Oh, Lyko thinks this, guys. What do you think?" I didn't think that. Plus, remember you've got the party comms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those aren't with Alice, right?
Okay, so if we're broadcasting on the group, I would just I was just what was I saying? I was suggesting that she'd probably put two together.
Yeah. The only living people she knows on the station firing weapons she can see being fired. Yeah. At things she doesn't seem to be able to see.
Like
Weird.
I don't know that projectiles that aren't fired but thrown are going to necessarily be any different. Probably be different rules though. So
Yeah, I mean different dice, right?
yeah.
Zora had some luck in past the previous one.
Let's assume that they're trying to do whatever it was they were last trying to do when they were alive. So maybe if we open up a door, they will just go through the door and clear the way.
That could be dangerous for us. Whoever's on the other side of them.
Which
Well, I feel like you already.
Yeah, it's gonna be me, isn't it?
Lyko slows says, did we secure that crate back on the ship? Because I should
Yeah, I guess sighing, he slings his rifle back on his shoulder and says, "Okay, if possible, I will get through. If not, try and find a healer in this corridor." I don't know.
I'm sure Alice can help with that and that about that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely sure she can't. Okay, I will approach them.
As he's walking away, I would say, I'd pat him on the back and say, "Good man, you're a brave soul."
So if I'm about here, can I, Ryan, see any indication of space between them?
I mean,
If they're floating, is there not space underneath them?
they're
Yeah.
as I said, they're about a meter, like wide each, and it's not so much that they're blocking the whole place. It's just that you'd maybe have to do that kind of entrapment style contortion throughout all of them to not hit off them.
Okay, so it wouldn't.
Imagine, if you will, a corridor
Yeah,
with
it's
several
very much
space
your
hoppers.
spy movie scene.
Yeah.
Yes,
have we got suitable
was-
music for it?
I mean, yeah, we've got
I'm not really trying to avoid detection,
go.
so I'm probably using my acrobatics rather than stealth to try and.
Oh yeah, this is definitely an acrobatics. Yeah.
Okay, so attempting to
Catherine Zeta Jones, your ass through
guess
this.
between what?
Catherine Zeta Jones from Entrapment.
Oh, okay. I don't think I ever saw the film.
She does some amazing stuff through some lasers.
It's pretty good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please don't suck.
Okay.
Pretty good.
17. Curse of the 17s.
Yeah, right. So you get to a position in between them, right? Where you're kind of like this,
Hmm.
but you realise that the way you've kind of went, while you've got most of the way there, you're now kind of like crabbing on your back, and you're like, there must have been a better way to get through here. Which you can now kind of see. You just know that you'd have to go all the way back out the way you came in, to then try and like risk hopping over one to get through an easier way, if that makes sense. But you could also just like pop one and get to the door, right? So there is that.
Okay, so the position I'm in would be a sort of reasonable enough distance that I feel like I could actually like hit something off it to try and pop it.
I mean, you're right underneath one.
That's going to be messy.
Yeah, and also the person, assuming it turns into a person, would fall on me. Because I'm assuming physics affects them.
I mean, also, like, who's to say they were all people-sized?
Yeah. one of them could be
Random
a rhinoceros.
elephant. Yeah, like
Yeah. We both went for
Safari, yeah.
large
Okay,
quadrupeds with
yeah.
thick hides.
Yeah.
Okay, like a fucking idiot, I am going to try and I'll get the rifle off my back and just prod it with that rather than actually swinging with my knife.
Sure, yeah, so you're going to like poke it.
Yeah.
As you do, there's a fairly bulky security guard that lands on you, like pinning you to the floor with a bit of a thud. They awkwardly like get like the gun jammed in like their abdomen as they land on you. They kind of look up with a kind of like half-helmeted, sci-fi but budget sci-fi outfit that they've got on, where the bottom half of their face is visible, and like their eyes and stuff, but it's all kind of cushioned in.
This wasn't on purpose.
Like before you even get any words out, like you're kind of in the shock of you've just been hit back and you know that someone's got like a gun pressed into their abdomen. They kind of look up, kind of give you like a look of shock, pull a knife out of like their thigh holster, and as they go to stab into you, like they pop. So as the knife's like maybe like seconds away from like kind of piercing the like the faceplate of your suit, they just pop and cover you in goo. You are completely covered in goo. But it does mean that you've made a bit of an easy path. There we go.
Okay, I'll communicate to the group about my glorious success.
They can see. You're covered in goop.
So...
You can just pop all of them and make a clear path for us to go through so we don't have to be covered in any more goo.
Could we?
I thought
kill
we
a
wanted
few
to
innocent
avoid...
people?
Yeah. I mean, I don't entirely care, but I'm not going to go out of my way to kill them all, either.
But we'll have to get through somehow.
Okay, the one in front of me. So I just hit the thing with the rifle. Like the one here.
Yeah, so like, see while this has been happening, so as usual we're like kind of like shouting back and forth. Anyone paying attention to Alice before Lyko acts? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, so was anybody particular, or was you all kind of looking at the entrapment game of like Lyko's ass as he like kind of contorts his way around all these orbs? Probably the Lyko game.
Yes.
And then like for the viewer at home, Alice has been like scrolling through those lists of names, and as soon as that one popped and then exploded, you just see her like draw her finger across a name, and it makes like a red line, and then it deletes it, and then like the kind of list clicks back into place as if that name didn't happen, and then she closes the file. And then as Lyko is like maybe like you put both your hands to kind of scoop off the goo from your helmet, because you can't see, you're covered in goop, as you've been shouting back and forth through comms or whatever. You see her kind of just look and then raise a hand to the corridor, and then make a reflex save, Lyko.
Sure, one sec. Saves.
Nice. Yeah, like as you scoop the goo off, you can see in the corridor, like flanking Alice, two kind of laser guns pop out, and then just start firing like shots of the laser fire, like so like you just see like popping, and it's like obviously you can sometimes see it light up the dark as it pops in and out, but obviously sometimes it's the red light that you can see as it's pulsing through the claxons, and she just like covers that area in laser fire, like the doors are just slightly scorched from the impact marks. You are covered in goo, but you get brief flashes of people in lab coats, people in like civilian gear, again another security officer. They all like look so confused and scared, and like as if they're in the middle of something, and then they all explode, just like one by one as these laser shots graze them and hit them and fire them. And then again, this is all flanking Alice, and then you just see her open that document up again and just score off another 5 names. It goes, okay, I think I've worked it out, as she turns to the group. with like a kind of sinister grin. And we're going to end it there.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So,
Oops.
session name. Also, you would so have been hit, by the way, had you not made a good save there.
Oh, I know.
Whew. What's the thoughts?
Something about the green goop.
Well, it wasn't specifically green. Just those little icons are, because I couldn't find any more.
Oh, in my mind it was green.
Yeah, I mean, it
I
can be
think
green if you want.
actually, I think I might have written green in the. Yeah, I wrote green. In the
No, there wasn't really a colour to it. It was just like the weird kind of weird purple and bluish electricity that was in it. That was the only kind of form of colour. And I need to delete that other one that's there. Delete. There we go.
Nickelodeon.
But yeah, so what's the thought? So what happened? Review it. You just got out of the hangar, you secured the crate back on, you found like a partial map, you went into the corridor, found an orb, touched it, it became a person briefly and popped.
Sort of tested it a little bit beforehand.
Yeah, you psychically messed with it.
yeah, it gave me a nasty wee shock.
Oh yeah, like you kind of relived some things, you think. Got a weird deja vu when you seen the person as well, the poor guy that popped. Lyko is wearing 6 people. 7 now? 7 now. It's wearing 7 people now. Alice is there. And yeah, she's told you guys what, there was no... She can't detect anyone bar you guys. And that she was being rebooted. So yeah.
I don't know. The only thing I'm thinking is like plasma paranoia or something.
You've got that bug I used to have about alliteration. That's all it is.
Thing.
The Goo Crew.
The Goo Crew. I mean, it's a suggestion, so let's have that as the vote pile. Anybody get anything better than the Goo Crew?
I really don't.
Oh, that's the
Other
wrong.
than who the
Let's
fuck
fix
is
it.
Alice again? But
I think that's maybe going to be your personal chapter title. I think. So yeah,
Life signs?
I mean life signs, right? That's
That works. It's life, Jim.
I don't know if I want to plagiarise that badly, right?
It's life, Zora.
Life who finds a way. I don't know why I made it trash. I just had to.
I mean, I feel like the TH would probably be capitalised based on the way
Yeah.
she's acted. Just fix that. I mean, I don't know.
the Goo Crew.
The Goo Crew is pretty good, isn't it?
It really is. The Goo Crew is really the best.
Yeah, session 2, the Goo Crew. Right, does anybody have any standout moments they enjoyed? Because I'm going to start doing this where it's like a very brief review of if there's something you specifically enjoyed that someone else did, or like an event that happened, just kind of highlight it because I'll add it into potential XP bumps, you know, if you've enjoyed.
I really liked
Alice,
to
you're
use
welcome.
character name rather than Nyx 5. It's your interactions with Alice in particular, like the patience of an android sort of is memory fitting. It was the flat affect at work. It was done very well. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of the fact that we sent the one person for whom the door doesn't open.
Yeah.
I was
Open
thinking
door.
about that, yes.
Honestly, I was thinking it the whole time, and I'm like, it's the best person to have sent. I love it. I love that you sent the undead guy with like a problem with doors. It's brilliant. Yeah. I mean,
I'm really enjoying Lyko's work shy.
I mean, to be fair, Lyko's actually been not bad so far, right?
Yeah, he likes to do certain things.
Yeah.
Which has been good. It's definitely interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm still going to be holding off on XP. I will total these sessions though as we go. I haven't quite decided if I want to do a milestone yet. I think I'm going to try and just total up what you guys experience and then decide if it suits a milestone and try and do like a half and half to see if I can get it to work. So calculate what I would award everyone based on if yous were standard like Pathfinder, Starfinder, D&D style rules of what you experience is what you get. But I'll then kind of compare that to when yous would level up and try and make it more story appropriate to be like, they would have leveled up in this session, but they're in the middle of this, so I might wait until they get out of this to then say, yous all get to breathe and relax and level up. So I'll try and keep it within a scope of, you know, when yous could realistically reflect. And I'll go with that until I've got further notice. Beyond that, do I normally do anything when I close these sessions off? I don't think I do, right? We've named it, right? We're good. Yeah, but goodbye, all of our wonderful listeners. Smash that like button, subscribe.
Love our lister.
Yep. I hope you enjoyed session 2. Nick from work and also Callum, who is precious. Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.